Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's dev blog. This is the second one today, vehicle modification upgrades. I read through this. They wanted to introduce two upgrades to War Thunder. One in the booster style where you could increase the performance of your vehicle by using this upgrade, and another one to permanently increase the performance on a modification. And there was an uproar in the comments. I read through it a little bit when I was rendering the other dev blog that I made today. And it was not good, man. People were accusing Gaijin of going the pay-to-win route, and it was really one-sided. People all felt that way. And now let's take a look at the original post, which is still on the forums. And they say again here that they won't be introducing it in patch 1.79 and will reevaluate it based on our feedback. We will clarify the thinking behind the enhancement very shortly. Now, like I said, there was a shitstorm about this, and that is basically because up until this far, Gaijin has really kept the game pretty clean. No pay to win in there, just pay to progress in a general sense. And you can argue here and there because of lower battle ratings for certain premiums compared to the regular version. But aside from that, they kept it pretty clean and haven't been money grabbing in that sense for us to get something that makes a thing better than what players without paying money would get. And that has been commendable for Gaijin to have done that up until so far. You can argue about €50 naval packs. That's another matter about, that's a choice. You can not buy it. You can just wait for the regular tree, but that's a choice. But when you have performance increasing things in game that you have to pay money for, then you come into very muddy waters. And this is basically that. Let's take a look at it. They wanted to introduce two new inventory items: pre-battle preparation and modification upgrade. And upgraded modification don't just increase your vehicle survivability and firepower, but also unlock new tactical options for you. Now, they give the example here of an additional fire extinguisher in battle, and that will keep your tank battle-worthy even after 3 fires. And they activating the pre-battle preparation will then also increase your crew speed at dealing with this fire, so you take less damage. Now, this is that first upgrade, a pre-battle training, which increases all the modifications listed in the item properties for all your vehicles in the next battle. How I understand it, that this pre-battle training has item properties. If you activate it, it will put that on your vehicle. After activation, you can't get the item back. You have to make a new one, and it will disappear after the battle it was activated before. Very much like the boosters you already know. If you activate multiples at the same time, you will have it for more battles. The effect doesn't stack. So that means only one activated item will be spent for each battle. So that's something. On the other hand, you can upgrade the modifications you want and at the same time prepare your entire army for the next battle. So my idea there is that they would have different versions of this thing that buff certain things, and you can choose the one you like for the things that you actually want to upgrade and then use that. On top of that, they also wanted to come up with the modification upgrade. As the name suggests, allow you to permanently upgrade a specific modification on your chosen vehicle. After using the upgrade, you can't take it off, disable it, or move it to another modification or another vehicle. To upgrade the modification, well, here they go into how it works. But for me, it's not clear whether if you do this to one modification, if you could actually do it to all the modification on that vehicle, but you just have to use more of these to upgrade all the modification on one plane, or if you can only use one per plane and then choose only one modification on a certain plane that you want to increase. Now, this is bad enough in and of itself. One modification upgraded to a certain point. How much is that? 10%, 20%, 25% is already giving you an advantage on other players that they don't have if they don't want to use this, or if they can't use it or haven't used it, play less, have less opportunity to make it, then they have an unfair advantage. That's already bad enough. But if this actually means that you could use multiple of these on different modifications, so you can actually increase the stats on all your modifications, then it would be even way worse. But let's see what they actually thought of, what they wanted to make them do. The following modifications are currently available for upgrade. For ground vehicles, it was parts, fire prevention equipment, and crew replenishment. For aircraft, it was airframe, cover, new cannons, and machine guns. Pretty important stuff, you know, airframe and cover go for your survivability, so you can take more damage before you die. And cannons and machine guns basically give you more firepower, which is also killing enemies quicker, so you also get an unfair advantage in that sense. As a rule, upgrades slightly change the base effects of modifications, but sometimes also add new ones, as in the example described above with the fire equipment. Modifications upgraded by any means display a corresponding symbol on the icon in the modification window. So it seems to me that this hints at that you could, you know, upgrade multiple modifications in a modification window, but you can't upgrade a modification twice. At least that's how I read this. Maybe it's incorrect, but that's how I read it. And in the hint of the modification, you can see the resulting effects with all active items calculated. So you can basically have these and then put these on top for a single battle, and your plane performs much better than it did before. Now, what's my opinion of this? This also, of course, is how it works in the mechanic, how you can actually make these things or purchase them, which you can do on the market. So yeah, you can make them if you play a lot. You know, you get a lot of stuff in the Warbond store, and you can work for that. You can make them yourself, but if you make a lot, you can also sell them, which makes it pay to win. And I think the community in this sense is correct. This is pay to win stuff, and it is not something we should want to see in the game. Gaijin has very nicely kept it very clean so far. War Thunder. That's why I love this game. It is purely skill based, and the pilot, you know, still means anything, despite things like the bolts doing very well in the last few patches. If you are a very good pilot and you know how to fight them, you can shoot them down. There is no magic there, you know. And we can talk about battle ratings, we can talk about a lot of stuff, but it's basically 90% skill and 10% maybe the vehicles that you choose. That's how I look at it, and that's why I love this game, and that is what Gaijin should keep focusing on. Why do they need this? I understand they need money. They have a core group of people that pays enough into the game to make it work, and I definitely understand that. I will never go against them when it comes to premium and stuff like that. We can argue about price. I mean, I was pretty surprised about a few destroyers costing 50 euros. That is becoming pretty expensive for one vehicle when you can buy a completely new AAA game for that. But that's another matter. But the fact that they have these things, that for some things like talismans and premium time and stuff like that, you have to pay real money. It's fair enough. This game has to exist, and the way it has been, I would love it to continue to exist for another 10 years. But the better thing to do to make more money instead of doing this kind of stuff is to just make the game better, and to do something with our feedback, and to make, for example, Air AB the best game mode you could ever want for compared to other games. And there's enough ideas in the community to make it better. That way you get better player retention, people stay in the game more, it becomes more appealing for other people. Make the grind slightly less difficult. Keep people playing Gaijin. That's the best way to make more money, because if people get invested in a game like this, like the hardcore players, they will spend money. I'm a collector. I've got pretty much every premium that comes out, I want to buy it because I'm a collector. I'm crazy about these planes. As a child, I used to build models of it. You know, and there's a big market out for it. But if you stop developing your game, you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back and 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Like this is a step back. Why would you? Who thought of this? Who wants this? Nobody. No players want this feature. And yeah, I would very much like to hear your clarification about this and why you were thinking about it, because this is just a crap feature. Why would you want to give people an advantage that doesn't have anything to do with skill, especially when you want to develop the game in an esports setting? You know, I don't understand that. I think it was a big misstep, and they really got a big shake-up from the feedback from the community in the comment section. It was also very one-sided, I'm sure, so they immediately took it down. That's also the bright point of this whole thing. They immediately took it down. So they read that feedback and they were like, oh crap, man. We didn't think this was going to happen. Maybe we made a crap idea. Let's take a look at it, reevaluate it, and think about it. So they took it back and they're not going to bring it out. And that's the positive thing about it. In the past, they would have pushed this through. But these days, they are actually getting more smart. But introducing this thing wasn't too smart. But the second part of it, that they immediately took it down and they're saying, okay, man, guys, sorry that we did this. This was not a good idea. We'll reevaluate it. Is then hopeful for me. But bloody hell. Actually thinking about this was not a good idea. And we'll have to see how they bring it back. But I don't want you to bring it back, Gaijin. Please. We don't want this. This is not wanted by the community. We want this game to stay as skill-based as possible and to give people increases, positive buffs to their planes. For not doing anything is not the way to go. Absolutely not. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think. On which side of the coin were you? There were only a few people on the other side of the coin, but maybe you were there. Give us your reasons. Why would you like this feature? Or why did you dislike this feature, like me? And much of the rest of the community. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.